Hey there, I'm Evgenia Baikova, business mindset strategist, Clifton Strengths expert, and founder of Fulfillment Coaching and Consulting. And I work with women who've left corporate or their 9 to 5 to build service-based businesses that actually feel good and make money without recreating the burnout they walked away from. And this podcast is where I sit down with bold and brilliant women who've done just that. Real stories from entrepreneurs who left the corporate path and are building something on their own terms. And my hope, well, that you will walk away inspired, supported, and reminded you are not doing this alone. And today I'm talking with Denola Burton, founder and CEO of Enhanced DNA, Develop, Nurture, Achieve LLC. And Denola brings a wealth of experience in HR, leadership, and coaching. And she is on a mission to help individuals and organizations strengthen their leadership, communication, and performance DNA. She is also an award winning author. Can you imagine that? With her latest book being recognized by both the 2024 American Writing Awards and the 2025 Book Excellence Award. And this fall, her next book, Enhancing Your Leadership DNA, A Guide to Effective Coaching, is hitting the shelves. Denola is not only redefining leadership through her work, she is also leading her own life and business in a way that's deeply aligned, authentic, and inspiring. So let's dive in. And Denola, thank you for joining us today. And tell us a few words about how are you helping others?
I'm so excited to be here, first of all. Thank you for having me. And, I feel like I am a natural nurturer, and that's how I help others. I started this journey of nurturing others years ago, well before I was even in the HR field, and just felt it was natural for me to try to help others solve their problems. And that has become my theme.
Mhm.
I do that in my business. That's why it's called
Mhm.
DNA, the develop and nurture,
Mhm.
so others can achieve their objectives. And I do that in the three areas: the leadership, the communication, and the performance. And just that's where I get my joy, is
Mhm.
doing that. And being able to do that as a business just makes it that much better, because I'm able to see the results of
Mhm.
the fruits of my labor.
Oh, that's amazing. So it seems like what are you doing is actually what you really enjoy doing, right? So your business is your passion. Or I don't know, a passion is your business. I
My
don't know.
passion is my business. And what they say, if you love what you do, you never feel like you're working a day in your life. And that's how I feel.
Yeah, that's the case.
It
Yeah.
is
So
the case.
I am really impressed by this story, and I'm just wondering what helped you give yourself permission to start something new and align, especially after a long corporate career.
Yeah, it wasn't planned, that's for sure. I worked for Eli Lilly and Company for 27 years. I had no intent upon retiring early. So, I was 59 when I retired. So that was an amazing ability to have, is to take a leap like that. But Lilly did offer an early retirement program, which, I had a middle schooler and a high schooler at the time. So I really wasn't thinking I wasn't going to work,
Mhm.
but it just seemed like it was perfect to be able to take what I call the best parts of my HR career and start my own business. I
Mhm.
never thought I would be an entrepreneur. I never thought I would start my own business. Never thought that. But when this opportunity came, it said, you know what? I have already established the right kinds of relationships outside of these corporate walls. And I can take the best parts, the pieces that I loved,
Mhm.
the developing others, the helping them grow, coaching them through success, and start my own business. And I was able to do that, what seemed like seamlessly,
Mhm.
because my reputation preceded me, I guess you'd say, and I had already established myself as a credible
Mhm.
person to provide those kinds of services, and have the expertise to do it. and therefore was able to make that transition very smoothly.
Yeah, but it also seems it seems to me that your offer also was very clear, right? So I believe that working in HR, well, and this is my background, I know so many different things, and to be successful, you have to kind of narrow your offer, right? So and do the things that you really enjoy doing, right? Not
Exactly.
just doing. You are not doing career coaching, for example.
No, I'm not
You are not
doing it all.
helping with hiring, right?
No. And
Mhm,
so in my career at Lilly, my roles really always centered around what we called employee relations.
mhm, mhm,
And employee relations was just that. It was helping employees at all levels
mhm,
be successful in their roles.
mhm,
And I would do that through a variety of ways, whether it was professional development or performance relationships, or um, it might be just discipline. It could be all kinds of things. But I was able to leave the things like the discipline behind
mhm.
and work on the professional development piece. But yes, I knew exactly the pieces that I wanted to focus on. And so when I think about employees being successful at all levels, it was just that, from the very lowest employee all
Mhm,
the way up to the executive leadership team. And that's how I have been able to coach a
Yeah.
lot of people
Mhm,
and
mhm,
provide those professional development um, interventions, you might call them,
mhm, mhm,
so that they can be successful. And many times, even in corporate America, there are people who don't necessarily want someone internal to provide them with those tools
mhm,
because they don't want to be viewed as having a gap somewhere. And
mhm.
so if they come to someone outside of the company, they don't ever have to tell somebody inside the company that they got some help.
Mhm. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. So, Denola, you support others through HR and business consulting.
I
And
do.
mhm,
Yeah. Um, so I think about those three things: the leadership, the communication, and the performance. You can do all three of those in both, whether it's HR or whether
mhm,
it's business.
mhm,
And what I have found over the last several years is that there are a lot of people like me. There are a lot of people like you
mhm,
who are starting their own businesses, but they don't necessarily have all the tools and the resources
mhm,
in order to make it successful.
mhm,
Uh, there is a challenge these days. We see it in our government where we're being asked to demonstrate merit in our businesses. We're being asked to demonstrate that we qualify to work with others.
mhm,
And so there are a lot of people who don't necessarily know how to do that. And so I have incorporated some of those tools that I have learned over the 7 years that I've been in business into some tools that will help others that are starting out their businesses
mhm,
or
mhm,
started their businesses but just didn't get that foundational piece in place.
mhm, mhm.
So we do a lot of work around HR compliance for businesses,
Yeah.
especially those that I call poised for growth.
Mhm,
Because if you are poised for growth and you do expect at some point in time that you will add employees to your workforce, whether
mhm,
they are contractors or employees,
mhm.
you need to have HR processes in
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and even from the starting entrepreneur who may not even know what a capability statement is,
Mhm, mhm,
and making sure that they have what I call a resume for their
mhm.
business.
Yeah. 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 I like it.
I
Yeah.
do a lot of that kind of work now where I'm helping small businesses to have the foundation then to be able to demonstrate that they are ready. And
Mhm.
some of the work that I'm doing now really
Yeah.
involves around helping small businesses get certified as either a woman owned business or a minority owned business, a veteran owned business,
Mhm,
whatever it may be, in order to demonstrate merit, because a certification demonstrates that a third party
mhm, mhm. Like you're
has
legit. Mhm,
acknowledged that you have
mhm, mhm,
all of
mhm.
your tools in place to be a legitimate business, a
Mhm,
sustainable business. Because clearly, if you're looking for contracts, You want to be able to demonstrate that you're a
For
sustainable
sure. Yes.
business.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I would say that when it comes to leading a team, right? So I believe that majority of us, we are starting like solopreneurs, but then to them, we are hiring, like we
That's
are hiring a contractor, so or we are hiring like a team
mhm,
members, and then what
right.
to do? Even I can talk about myself. When I hired my VA, I was just like, welcome back to your leadership role. And thanks God, I knew what to do. Yeah, because I had a team. I know all the things, and I established some processes for sure, right? Because it's not just about control. It's not. It's about leading them in a way that they can grow together with you and your business.
Yes.
So, can you talk about this piece too?
I'm sorry, I
The,
didn't hear
the leadership, the leadership
the
part of
leadership.
that.
Oh, that's critical. A lot of times we think about people who do well in the workplace, in their corporate roles, even as they start as an entrepreneur, they may have done well in their previous roles.
Mm-hmm.
But did they ever really learn the skills to be an effective leader?
Oh, yeah.
And that's where there's a lot of gaps because a lot of us excelled in some technical role
Mm-hmm.
that we may have had. But then when you try to pull that technical expertise into a company or into a leadership role where you may be leading people doing that technical work, they oftentimes do not have the skills in
Mm-hmm.
order to lead effectively. And that's a big piece of the work that we do is really helping uh, individuals understand the keys in to be an effective leader
Mm-hmm.
because it's very different to do the work yourself or lead someone else in doing the work, and that's critical. That's why we have so many professional development things like conflict resolution.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the teamwork and the ability to work with others. All of those kinds of things are not necessarily obvious,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you need skills in order to do those effectively.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And talking about leadership or leading, not just your business, but your life,
Mhm.
what values guide how you lead and work with others?
Yeah, clearly it is a bit about being authentic. It is about um, understanding and being a good listener.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of them you could list off, but the key is to do a self assessment to determine if you have those skills, and to be able to bring those to a point where others are being developed, whether it's coaching or whether it's mentoring. It
Mm-hmm.
is really making sure that you are engaging with others to ensure that you're providing the vision and the
Mm-hmm.
direction, the guidance, but that they are seeing you in the light of the work that they're doing, that you're mirroring
Yes,
the
yes.
values that you have, and clearly it's the first one, I think, is about being authentic and helping people understand that you don't have any hidden motives,
Mm-hmm.
that you're doing the work that you do because you want them to succeed and because you want to succeed as well.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Um, and when we talked previously, I asked you a question about if your business had a theme song, what could it be? And you answered, I will choose You Will Survive.
I will survive.
So,
I will
yeah, why
survive.
that song?
Yeah. What's that? So I will survive. Is that Gloria Gaynor? I forget
Yes.
who.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Gloria Gaynor. I said that because you know, th- over the years, just 7 years since I
Mhm.
started my business, I have seen businesses come and go. Um, I have seen a lot of businesses come and go. And it's because they didn't have the foundation to succeed. And I feel that I have put the tools and the resources in place so that my business can succeed. I would love for my business to succeed well beyond me.
Mhm.
So whether it's my family members that pick this business up or whether it's sold to someone else who has the same passion, I
Mhm.
would love to see it succeed. And so the I will survive is all about having all of those things in place so that this business can survive and not just survive for the sake of surviving,
Mhm. Mhm.
surviving because it's needed,
Mhm.
survive because people are pulling for the tools, the resources that we have in order for them to
Mhm. Mhm.
survive.
Yeah. So you were talking about foundation to succeed. What are the some elements that you see in that?
Yeah, I mean, so when I think about the business itself, it is ensuring that the business is set up legally,
Mhm.
that my even protecting my name of my business, getting the copyrights for the books, getting the trademark for the enhanced DNA, develop, nurture, achieve,
I
and the
can see that. Yeah,
logo.
I like
The
it.
logo, I
That's
mean, those
amazing.
things are trademarked. So
Mhm.
even though I may go into a room where somebody sees this DNA logo and they think that maybe my business has something to do with the
Yeah,
sciences,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
Sequencing.
yeah, I mean, by me being able to trademark this name,
Mhm.
I now have the rights to use this DNA logo as it relates to develop, nurture, and achieve.
Mhm.
And I mean, so protecting the assets that we have. My business is now cybersecurity certified,
Yes, I know that.
which means that my systems that I use, I don't have to worry if I'm working with a client. My
Mhm.
client doesn't have to worry about whether
Mhm.
they may have to worry about it, but I have the things in place so that there's not data
Mhm.
breaches.
Mhm.
I mean, so all of those kinds of foundational things related to business structure. I talked about certification and demonstrating that my business is acknowledged by the certification bodies.
Mhm. Mhm.
Those things are the things that I think make it important to sustainability. But then it's also about how are you leading in your business. All of those things tie together. So got to make
Yeah.
sure those things are in place.
Oh yes, yeah, 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 yeah. This is really important. Absolutely, and that's the foundation. That's the basis, right?
It is.
And you know that talking about the foundation and the world that is rapidly evolving around us, especially with tools like AI entering every field, like how we lead, communicate, and create. How are you thinking about the future of leadership and personal development in terms of AI?
We can't leave it behind, that's for sure.
Hmm.
AI is a tool that is not only here, it's going to continue to evolve. And we have to think about how to use it. There are so many ways that AI can be used in our businesses. Um, you know, many of us are solopreneurs.
Hmm.
If we learn how to use AI tools effectively, we may be able to stay solopreneurs. um, or at least enhance what we are currently doing. I mean, I am not an expert in a lot of things, but the AI tools available are going to allow us to begin to change our businesses.
Hmm.
I don't expect AI to replace people. You still need people, and AI is only as good as the information provided to it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so we have to work smart with AI. I love it, and I am still learning. I'm actually getting ready to take some courses
Oh,
around
good. Yeah.
AI tools because we cannot let we cannot be manual anymore.
Hmm.
We have to think about how we can use these tools and solve problems using AI.
Hmm.
And that's where I think the beauty, it's more than just saying, help me rewrite this email.
Oh no. Oh no. It's bigger than that.
It is so
Hmm.
much bigger than that. And
Hmm.
it's like,
Hmm.
okay, here AI, I'm thinking about a strategy. Here's what I'm thinking about. Can you help me think
Hmm.
about what I might be missing?
Missing.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing you might be able to use AI for because we don't necessarily have a board of directors or a staff group to sit down and strategize with. But we do have AI tools.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where the direction is going to go.
Yes. And you know what? So you know that Keisha Washington. We had a conversation with her, and she shared with me that, well, I'm using AI as a business partner.
Yes,
And this is, I was really impressed by that, because also, how I work with AI, the way is evolving itself. Well, before that, I was using it to help me in, creating content or something like that. But now I also use it. Okay, so what's missing? What I'm not
missing.
seeing in something,
Am I
that
missing?
it is bringing all pieces together so that I can see the full picture, or at least I have a structure, and then I can work with that, right? But yes,
Absolutely.
I think that it's not the time that we can ignore that. And I also have heard that, well, that we had that industrial revolution. Now we have intellectual revolution. So it's definitely about the intellect and how we can use that AI to enhance our work. And well, I will not be surprised if enhanced DNA will have something in the portfolio.
I've definitely got some new things coming out. The new book,
Yeah.
Enhancing Your Leadership DNA,
Mhm.
a guide to effective coaching.
Coaching.
I mean, that's going to be big. But the thing I'm really excited about, not just the book, but the coaching program
Mhm, mhm,
that I'll be rolling out. So there's lots of good stuff. And I've gotten some ideas because, one of the things that we have to do is we have to look at our competition and we have to see what's out there nowadays. What
mhm,
are others
mhm,
doing in this
mhm.
field? And I actually just did some focus groups with some corporate business owners. And we asked those corporate business owners, what things do you look for when you're looking to work with small businesses? And one of the things that they were saying is they need to see innovation
Ooh, that's
from small
powerful.
businesses.
Mhm.
And one of the ways that you can start to think about innovation is using AI tools to think about what else do I need to be thinking about
Mhm.
in my business that I might not have today, but I need to start thinking about how to
Yeah,
develop those
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah. It seems like it will be, or it's becoming a big part of a strategy, like a business one. Or if you think about implementing new tools, well, don't forget about AI.
Don't forget about AI. Don't forget about it. Absolutely.
Yeah. And Denola, for women on the edge of a pivot, what's one thing that you would want them to hear?
I think that sometimes we may not even know we're on the edge of a pivot. Sometimes pivots happen for us. Example, the pandemic,
Oh, yeah. So true.
and so we may not even know we're on the edge of a pivot. But a lot of us have had to pivot, and so when you think about the pivot, I think the first thing you have to think about is where are you today, and where do you want to go? Because you can't just say, I'm doing my work, I'm doing my work, I'm doing my
Mhm,
work, I'm doing
mhm,
my
mhm.
work. You have to also be forward thinking because I know when that pivot of the pandemic happened for me, I had to think about how I was going to pivot. And I know I wasn't going to talk a lot about my publishing, but I actually started a publishing company during the pandemic
Mhm.
because we weren't really getting a lot of HR business during that time. But the only way that I was able to start the publishing company was because I had already started dibbling in it
Mhm.
while I was doing my HR work.
Mhm.
And so the HR work took a back seat because I found that so many people were publishing or wanting to publish books during the pandemic because they were home writing.
Yeah.
And so, anytime that you are faced with a need to pivot, I think it's all about what's on the horizon. What have you already been thinking about
Mhm.
that you might be doing? And especially if you're currently in a workplace and decide that you're ready to pivot to entrepreneurship, you have to be preparing a lot of things in advance. It's not like you can say today, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to stop working because a lot of us wouldn't get paid if that were the case. You have to have some things in place.
Mhm.
So it is about how are you preparing, even though you may not. be thinking you need to pivot.
Mhm, mhm.
May want to start thinking about how you can move to a pivot should you need to.
Yes. Well, thank you. And that brings us to the end of my conversation with Denola Burton. And Denola, thank you so much for sharing your
Absolutely.
story and your wisdom and your heart with us today.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
yes, and I hope, dear listeners, that you're walking away with fresh inspiration and a reminder that it's okay to, well, redefine your success on your own terms, right? To pivot or just wait for that.
Right.
And if this resonated with you, hit follow, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to like or leave a quick review. It truly helps others find the show. Thank you for listening, and I will catch you next time. And all the knowledge links will be shared below. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.